Hey everybody, MS Farzan here, and in this video I'd like to introduce you to a few one-page RPGs that we have out through Nightpath Publishing. They're great entry points if you haven't done any role-playing before, or if you just want to have like a weekend game to play with your gaming group, or to introduce some new people to role-playing in general with some light mechanics. The one we're looking at right now is called Entromancy Chaos Rifts. It's a great entry point into the Entromancy universe, which of course is a full D20 based role-playing game, as well as a novel series and a card game, and there's just a bunch of stuff going on with it. And this is a very, very simplified version of the game that is literally one page, front side and back, of course. I find it to be super fun. It's like it's really, really low barrier to entry in terms of the rules, and you just need a D6, a six-sided die to play. And the story is very light. In Entromancy Chaos Rifts, a recent attempted fusion between the synthetic renewable energy source called Ceridium and its organic counterpart, blue orichalcum, has resulted in both magic and technology going haywire. The San Francisco Bay Area is reeling from the chaos rifts that have emerged, requiring the three factions of Orichalcum, Night, and the Unaligned to join forces or face annihilation. So pretty much your your doom and gloom scenario in your dystopian cyberpunk future. Entromancy is, of course, a cyberpunk fantasy role-playing game set in the San Francisco Bay Area. So we've got magic, we've got technology, we've got dragons, and you get to, in terms of your character creation, you just roll 1d10. Actually, this game, because it presumes that you have some interest in role-playing games, this game does require having a 10-sided die. Some of the other games don't require that at all. And you get to determine what your skills are, what your class would be, which adds to your skills. You'll determine a mission objective, and then you'll want to set one of your players as a game master to roll a 1d10 and determine what the encounters are, so that each other player can participate in that encounter using their skills. There are specific bonuses for trying to push a roll, which is to add an additional die to your roll, and essentially you're trying to avoid these chaos rifts, which will make wacky things happen as the chaos meter builds. It's really simple to play. It's super fun and easy to get into, and I do hope you enjoy it. And if you want more of this kind of stuff, of course, there's the full role-playing game at your disposal. And this is free to download, as are all of our one-page RPGs off of Drive-Thru RPG. Just go there and type in Entromancy Chaos Rifts, or you can go to nightpathpub.com to check it out. Another one of these games, one-page RPGs, is called Code Isattvas. In Code Isattvas, you're an ethical hacker attempting to liberate natural ecosystems under the influence of the simulated autocracy of metaphysical serialization and automated registration authority, also known as Samsara. By deploying the appropriate programs, you might be able to restore balance to the natural world, but you won't be able to do it alone. And this game is even more accessible for newcomers. It only requires a 1d6. Very similar mechanics, and instead of avoiding chaos rifts, you're trying to avoid a system lockdown. And of course, there's all kinds of goodies and hidden nods to both programming and this whole concept of Bodhisattvas throughout the game. This is a really fun one too. It's called Game Turkeys, Gobbling Up the Internet One Game at a Time. It's a one-page game dev RPG, and in Game Turkeys, you're an online game team churning through dev cycles in an attempt to adhere to an ambitious release schedule, but a myriad number of issues continue to conspire against your carefully planned milestone calendar. You'll have to band together to navigate through the obstacles that stand in your way to avoid your game being panned, or worse, ignored. As you can tell, I've been working in game dev for a long time, and have been working on have worked in the marketing side for years. And this is a very tongue-in-cheek approach to understanding some of the things about video games marketing through a one-page RPG. You can decide to improve your you'll roll 1d6 to decide what your skills are, either in business, communications, design, project management, public relations, or technical. And you can choose your role, or roll d6 to determine what it is. Whether you're an artist or a community manager, a dev, marketer, or producer. And then you'll work through your milestones and try to avoid a team panic. I'm laughing while I'm reading this because it's a little bit too real, too close to home. And finally, one of our first one-page RPGs is called Not So Supervillains. In Not So Supervillains, you've been hit with a cosmic blast that has enabled you with super powerful mutations while also accentuating some of your best and worst personality traits. You've thought long and hard about using your newfound powers for good, but that's no fun. And so you get to determine what your mutations are. And this is really fun for role-playing. Instead of choosing a class or a role, you get to choose your personality by rolling 1d6, whether you're brazen, brash, and brutal, or cunning, conniving, and concise, fresh, fabulous, and fast-talking, heroic, Herculean, and high-strung, loud, laughing, and a little unhinged, or smart, savvy, and slow-moving. And the goal is to role-play that. And not only do you determine your objectives in these games and go through your encounters doing skill checks, but there's some benefits for role-playing your character. For example, in Not So Supervillains, your personality bonus is when the GM can choose to award you with an additional 1d6 for a particular role if you roleplay your personality correctly. And in Not So Supervillains, that's particularly if doing so works against the objective in some way. And then you might be thrust into a superhero battle, and so like there's all kinds of crazy stuff that can ensue. So that's these are 4 one-page RPGs that, like I said, are available to download and play for free on DriveThruRPG. You can go to our website at nightpathpub.com to check out a little bit more information about each one of these, and the product pages will take you directly to DriveThruRPG as well. But if you're looking for a game to play with your friends that have never played any role-playing games before or anything like that, these are great entry points. Not So Supervillains is kind of like fun for everyone. Game Turkeys, I think, would be fun for people who have any interest in the games industry. Isattvas is a kind of a different take. It's like people who are interested in programming and perhaps like meditation or have some familiarity with some of these concepts might have some interest, or in like eco-preservation, as that's a main theme throughout Isattvas. And of course, Entromancy Chaos Rifts is near and dear to my heart simply because it's based in the Entromancy universe and will give you an idea and flavor of what the world is like. So please do check these out at DriveThruRPG or at nightpathpub.com, and we'll hope to see you soon.